the beginning, God created the first humans, Adam and Eve, and placed them in the Garden of Eden. They lived in harmony with nature and with God until they disobeyed His command and ate from the forbidden tree of knowledge. As punishment, they were banished from the garden, forced to toil and face mortality. Outside of Eden, Adam and Eve began their family. Eve gave birth to two sons. First came Cain, and then his younger brother Abel. These brothers, born into a world already marked by sin, would grow to play pivotal roles in humanity's early history. Their story is one of rivalry, jealousy, and the consequences of unchecked anger. As the brothers grew into men, they chose different paths in life. Cain became a farmer, tilling the soil and growing crops. He worked hard under the hot sun, coaxing life from the earth that God had cursed. Abel, on the other hand, became a shepherd, tending flocks of sheep and living a nomadic life. One day, both brothers decided to present offerings to God. Cain, proud of his harvest, brought some of the fruits of the soil as his gift. Abel, selecting from his flock, offered fat portions from some of the firstborn of his flock. God looked with favor on Abel and his offering, accepting it as a pleasing sacrifice. But Cain's offering did not receive the same approval. God did not reject Cain himself, but for reasons not fully explained, his offering was not accepted. This difference in God's response sparked a fire of jealousy and resentment in Cain's heart. His face fell, and anger began to simmer within him. God, seeing Cain's reaction, warned him about the dangerous path his emotions were taking him down. Seeing the anger and jealousy brewing within Cain, God spoke to him, saying, "Why are you angry? Why is your face downcast? If you do what is right, will you not be accepted? But if you do not do what is right, sin is crouching at your door. It desires to have you, but you must rule over it." This warning was meant to guide Cain away from the dangerous path his emotions were leading him down. Despite God's counsel, Cain couldn't quell the storm of resentment in his heart. One day he suggested to Abel that they go out to the field. There, away from watchful eyes, Cain's anger overtook him. In a moment of terrible weakness, he turned against his brother. The exact details are left to the imagination, but the tragic result was clear. Abel's life was taken by Cain's hand. Soon after, God approached Cain, asking, "Where is your brother Abel?" Cain, attempting to evade responsibility, replied, "I don't know. Am I my brother's keeper?" But God, all-knowing, confronted him directly. "What have you done? Listen, your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground." In this moment, Cain faced the full weight of his actions, standing before God with the undeniable truth of his deed laid bare. God's judgment was swift and severe. He declared to Cain, "Now you are under a curse and driven from the ground, which opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you work the ground, it will no longer yield its crops for you. You will be a restless wanderer on the earth." The weight of this punishment crashed down on Cain. Not only would he struggle to farm, the very occupation that defined him, but he would be cast out, separated from his family and community. Overwhelmed by the consequences of his actions, Cain cried out to God, "My punishment is more than I can bear." Fear gripped Cain's heart as he realized the implications of his exile. "Whoever finds me will kill me," he lamented, imagining a life of constant danger and retribution for his crime. But even in judgment, God showed mercy. To protect Cain from those who might seek vengeance, God placed a mark upon him. The nature of this mark is not described, but its purpose was clear, a divine warning to others not to harm Cain. God declared that anyone who killed Cain would suffer vengeance 7 times over. With this mark of protection, Cain was sent out into the world, burdened by his guilt but shielded by God's decree, to face his life as a wanderer. Bearing his punishment and protected by God's mark, Cain journeyed east of Eden to the land of Nod. This place, whose name means wandering, became his new home, far from the family he had left behind. In Nod, Cain found a wife. The Bible doesn't provide details about her origin, which has led to centuries of speculation and questions. Some believe she was Cain's sister, as Adam and Eve had other children not mentioned by name. Others suggest she came from a separate creation of humans. Regardless of her background, Cain and his wife began a new life together in this distant land. Despite God's curse that he would be a restless wanderer, Cain settled down and built a city. He named this city after his son, Enoch, perhaps in an attempt to establish roots and legacy in his place of exile. This act of building a city shows Cain's resilience and determination to create a new life, even under the weight of his past. Cain and his wife had more children, and his family line continued to grow. His descendants became known for various skills and innovations. Cain's great-great-great-grandson Lamech introduced polygamy. Lamech's sons became the ancestors of nomadic livestock herders, all those who play stringed instruments and pipes, and craftsmen in bronze and iron. Through these descendants, Cain's lineage left a significant mark on early human civilization, contributing to the development of agriculture, music, and metalworking. The story of Cain and Abel, and Cain's subsequent life, serves as a powerful lesson about the far-reaching consequences of our actions. From a single act of jealousy and violence, a cascade of events unfolded that shaped the course of human history. Kindly like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel.